What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Just woke up a little while ago and I was sitting around thinking of some kind of video to shoot, and decided to do a response video to my good friend Brandon Dement. He has a channel. He's been showing some stuff here and there, and had a really cool video idea, and I thought I would respond to that, give him a shout out. He sends me a lot of freaking material, and just an awesome guy. But the video I'm gonna respond to is, I think I might not have this in the right order, but it's basically 6 thrash metal, 6 death metal, and 6 black metal albums, his favorites. So I thought that would be a great video to respond to. There's several videos I want to respond to, and in a sort of roundabout way, another shout out to just another metal maniac. He did a tier list on black metal, his favorite debuts. So I'm kind of spinning off of that. I decided to pick nothing but debut albums by each of those genres, and talk a little bit about them, I guess. But anyway, yeah, definitely check those 2 channels out, Brandon Dement and just another heavy metal maniac. Small channels right now, they need to grow, have awesome content, and we'll go from there. So anyway, the links will be in the description below. I'm not going to show anything that's culty McCulterson, as Marty Worm would say. The only thing maybe, I don't think this so much, but this will be playing in the background, Evil Dead, Annihilation of Civilization. But anyway, so let's get with it. I'm going to start with the thrash, go death, and then go black. So, favorite debut albums. Everything's going to be typical here. Of course, favorite debut album by Slayer is going to be Show No Mercy. What a fantastic record. Bordering on the black and speed metal side, I guess. But just fantastic. Favorite tracks on this is Evil Has No Boundaries. Definitely one of my favorite tracks. Favorite all-time track on this is Die by the Sword. What else is on here? Metal Storm, Face the Slayer, love that. Black Magic, Cryonics, just a fantastic one. Fantastic debut. Next one, I think was released, that was in '83. I think this one was released in '85 or '86. So Nuclear Assault, Game Over. It's not the first Nuclear Assault I heard. The first one I heard was Handled with Care, and I think I heard this one second. But this one has always been a standout with the debuts, and I hope this is the debut. I'm pretty sure it is. But there's so many favorite tracks on this one. After the Holocaust, Nuclear War, Live, Suffer, Die. Absolute freaking badass fucking record right here. I don't think I've talked about this one in a while, so threw it in there. Another one from the East Coast would be Overkill's Feel the Fire. I think I just showed this in a video not long ago, but it's another one of those early thrash records. Still has kind of a punk influence on it. Feel the Fire is my favorite track. Sonic Reducer, the cover, Raise the Dead, Rotten to the Core, Blood and Iron, Kill at Command, title track, I guess, well, not title track, but the band track, Overkill. Just a fantastic one. One I spent a lot back in the day. Love Overkill, one of my favorite bands. So I go with Germany on the next pick. Favorite debut over there would have to be Creator's Endless Pain. And this could have went with the black metal and the death metal. But I decided to show all vinyl on this, so there's not going to be CDs. But This is the remastered version from a couple years ago, which is cool because it had the demos, the Tormentor demos in it, and all that good shit. I wanted those demos. Now I guess High Roller released it on another record, but favorite track on this is all the stuff that man, what's his name, the drummer's name, Venter, all the stuff that he does, all the vocals he does on this is my favorite. Total Death, Tormentor, Flag of Hate, Bone Breaker, Dying Victims, just found killer fucking debut from Germany, one of the best. Of course, damn, Exodus, Bonded by Blood. For the longest time, this was the only Exodus record I liked. It is definitely my favorite album by them. I've been listening to this one for decades. 1985. Now, I believe it was originally recorded in 83, so it could have been one of the first thrash metal records, but favorite tracks on this is Bonded by Blood, and then there was None, A Lesson in Violence, Metal Command. I love the acoustic part, No Love, and the whole track. Strike the Beast, Deliver Us from Evil, Piranha. So many good tracks on this one. Fucking looks fantastic in this video. Fucking killer one. And then the last debut of the thrash would be this one from Britain, Forbidden. This is not from Britain. It's from the East Coast. I was wanting to put a British thrash metal album. Son of a bitch. But I can only pick 6. My favorite debut, another favorite ones, Chalice of Blood, Through the Eyes of Glass, Forbidden Evil, March into Fire, Follow Me, Feel No Pain. This is a fantastic one. When was this released? 1988 this one was released. So killer debuts. Sorry for the fuck up. I really want to put a UK thrash band, and for some reason I didn't pick one out, but it was in my head. So favorite debut death metal albums would definitely start off with Death, Scream, Bloody Gore. You know, I heard this album, and I was into this album way before I got into death metal. And to me, this was really heavy thrash. It's one of those bands we called Metallica or Slayer on steroids back in the day, because we didn't know what death metal was around these parts. But Infernal Death, Zombie Ritual, Mutilation, Regurgitated Guts, Torn to Pieces, Scream Bloody Gore, Land of No Return. Just an awesome album. It had to be on this. Another debut. Yeah, I probably talked about these not too long ago, but definitely Morbid Angels, Altars of Madness. Out of all the debuts, is probably the best debut ever was. I don't know. There's so many good tracks on this, but I think if I had to pick my favorites, I'd say Immortal Rites, Maze of Torment, Chapel to the Ghouls, Blasphemy, Evil Damnation. Goes without saying, has to be on a favorite debut. And definitely check Brandon's video out. Just so he shows some amazing first presses. I'm not showing any first presses in this, but he has a bunch of OG press and some obscure shit. But second one, I decided to pick this one from Sweden. There's so many good Swedish albums, but I think out of all the debuts, this is probably my most favorite one. Dismember Like a Never Flowing Stream, released in 1991. This is that Back on Black reissue from years ago. I think it's 2010. And I still haven't picked up the new reissues, but this one, Override the Overture, what the fuck. Probably the greatest death metal riff of all time. In Death's Grip, I love that track. Skinner Alive, Bleed for Me, and This one has some bonus tracks on it. Defective and Decay, Torn Apart, The Carnage cover, and Justifiable Homicide. And that's the main reason I picked this up, because I wanted those tracks. But anyway, yeah, this is definitely killer one. And then from Finland, I'm not gonna get out of here. There are so many. I decided to pick this one. This is my favorite Finnish death metal album right now. Demolek is another one, but this is Demigod. I always get those two bands mixed up. But Slumber of Soul and Eyes, released in 1992. That's, believe it or not, is the vocalist. That little kid, that little guy right there is singing that guttural in this. But this is fantastic. I don't know. Every track on here, but Dead Soul would be one of my favorite. The title track, Slumber of Soul and Eyes. This is a fantastic Finnish death metal album. Fucking love this album. And then, of course, one of my favorite death metal albums of all time is going to be Suffocation, Effigy of the Forgotten. Another one released in 1991. This one, when I got into death metal, this is one of the first bands I heard. There's several of them that I was listening to, but this is the one I remember picking up because everybody was just going freaking absolutely nuts for this album. And then I listened to it, and that first slam part, which we didn't know what slam was back then, but fucking awesome. Favorite tracks on this is Liege of Adversity, Effigy of the Forgotten, Infesting the Crypts, Jesus Wept, Involuntary Slaughter. Every track. This is a fucking banger. Then I picked one from Canada, and the only one I could really pick from Canada that I can think of right off the bat is Considered Dead by Gorguts, released in 1991 again. This album fucking rules. I mainly picked it up back in the day for the artwork. I love the artwork. Thought it was fucking killer. And then the album freaking blows me away. I love the intro, and then comes Lividity, Stiff and Cold, Considered Dead, the title track, Rotten Atomy, Waste of Mortality, Drifting Remains, Inoculated Life. Just a fantastic debut. Fantastic debut. And then that's my 6 death metal debuts, favorites. And then to the black metal, I pretty much picked all typical stuff. Like I said, I didn't want to be called T. McCulterson in this video. So first thing that really stood out for me for black metal would be this album by Bathory, the debut from Sweden. Goes without saying, this is an absolute fucking banger. There's no denying that. Very short album, kind of like a 26 minutes long or something like that. But man, Reaper, love that. Necromancy, Sacrifice, Armageddon, Raise the Dead, War, and In Conspiracy with Satan. Just evil as shit, and perfect for debut records. And this is the part where I shout out just another maniac, just another heavy metal maniac. He did a debut, black metal debut tier list, and it was just fascinating. I loved all the albums he showed. But this is going to be my little response to that. So first one, Bathory. Of course, this is always going to be one of my favorite debuts. Rotting Christ, Thy Mighty Contract, released in 1993. Bands from Greece. But this one, I've shown it and talked about it many times. When I first picked it up, I thought it was going to be a death metal album. It ended up being, I guess, black metal. Didn't know it back then, but absolutely fucking rules. And the reason why I didn't know it back then, I wasn't much into black metal. I loved the first wave. I heard a little bit of the second wave, but I wasn't really that fond of it. And anyway, now I am. So here we are. Favorite tracks on this: A Sign of Evil Existence, Transfer All Suffering into Plagues. Those two fucking opening tracks, two tracks fucking rule. Dive the Deepest Abyss, the Fourth Night of Revelation. Every track on this fucker is fucking medieval as fuck, and badass and memorable and killer, and that's why it's on this list. Another one, I'm not sure when this was released. I cannot remember. I want to say 93. Pretty sure it was. But Enslaved. Never can pronounce this name, so I'm not even going to try. But this one. This one. I'm not even going to pronounce the freaking tracks, but I can tell you the very first track hooked me. I love that little haunting little intro with the synth work. I love the vocals on this thing, and just a absolute fucking banger. Definitely had to be on this list. God dang, wish I could pronounce those words. It's all in fucking Norwegian, I believe, but definitely. Oh yeah, 93, 94, so I was correct. Killer one, killer fucking album. Fuck yeah. Of course, debuts. When I say debuts, a lot of these bands released a lot of demos first, but definitely Emperors in the Night Side Eclipse. This is one of my favorite albums to smoke weed to, actually. Always will be. But favorite tracks on this one is the opening track, Into the Infinity of Thoughts. I Am the Black Wizards is one of my favorites. Towards the Pantheon. Beyond the Great Waste Forest, or Vast Forest. But yeah, this one definitely debut. Fucking love this goddamn album. Emperors in the Night Side Eclipse. Favorite, I have two favorite Immortal albums. But out of the debuts, it was, of course, going to be this one. Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. Always one of my favorite ones. I think I showed this in every black metal video I ever make. Love that artwork there. But this album, it is catchy as hell. I love that first track, The Call of the Winter Moon. I just love his cadence on that and those screams. This sounds medieval as hell as well. Unholy Forces of Evil, Cryptic Winter Storms, Cold Winds of Funeral Dust, and a Perfect Visions of the Rising Northland. This is an absolute fucking banger. It's medieval. It sounds so medieval. And that's probably why it's one of my favorite all-time black metal debuts. And I'm leaning over here. I don't know why. Probably trying to get this in here and act like a goddamn fool. And then the final one, number 6, is definitely going to be Mayhem's Des Mysterious Dom Satanas. Recently got into this album. For the longest time I didn't really care for it because of the vocals, and now I fucking love it because of the vocals. That makes fucking sense. Favorite tracks on this is Funeral Fog, Freezing Moon, Life Eternal. What is it? Buried by Time and Dust. I love the riffs in this, and I really love the fucking drums, the production on the drums. Some of my favorite drum production of all time is on this fucking record right here. But anyway, that's my response to Mr. Brandon Dement. Definitely check this guy out. His collection will freaking blow your damn mind. He's more onto the brutal death metal. He shows he likes a lot of EPs. Whenever we chat, it's a lot of EPs he shows. And the guy is just freaking outstanding. One of those great people. Does a lot of running for charities. Just an awesome fellow. Definitely check him out. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you with another one soon. I was wanting to do a suffocation ranking. I just showed a suffocation record, but I decided I want to try to do another ranking. A couple people have been asking me about that. I also show my Slayer collection, which unfortunately I didn't pick up anything after I want to say Divine Intervention. until 2016 when they released their last album. So I kind of have a void there, and that's kind of why I don't show my Slayer collection. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do it because I have several cassettes, several CDs, and a bunch of vinyl records. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this once again, and you all have an outstanding day. And definitely check out the 2 channels I mentioned, Brandon Dement and Just Another Metal Maniac. Awesome channels. Later all.